Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 7 simple car maintenance things that you should do. These are simple car maintenance tasks that will most likely prevent expensive repair bills. So I highly recommend that you do them. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first simple car maintenance thing that you should do is an oil change. Now, obviously, this is one of the most obvious ones that the majority of people know about. An oil change. You should change the oil of your engine regularly. Consult your owner's manual to figure out exactly when you should be changing it and what type of oil you should be putting in the car. Now, it's important to change the oil and the oil filter because the oil is like the lifeline of the engine. Without oil or with old oil, an engine can't operate properly and it's likely to cause a very expensive repair bill. So an oil change is the first and the most obvious simple car maintenance thing that you should do. Number 2, change the air filter. Now the air filter is there, it's in place simply to filter the air that goes into the engine. You see, your engine has an intake and it takes in air from the environment, okay? It's very simple and straightforward. The filter is between the end of the intake and the engine, and it prevents leaves and dirt and other things from going into the engine. Now, as that air filter gets dirty and gets clogged up, it prevents air from flowing as freely into the engine. So with that being said, what you want to do is either clean the air filter or replace the air filter, depending on the type of filter that it is, and that will ensure that your engine is getting the air as freely and effectively as possible. Number 3, replace the battery or clean the battery terminals. Now, it should be your goal to get a good life out of the battery, but you want to make sure that you replace it before it leaves you stranded somewhere. So you want to try and get a good life out of the battery, but replace it as soon as it starts to show some signs that it's getting ready to need replacing. Also, you should be checking your battery terminals frequently. You should be checking your battery terminals, and if they have corrosion on them, you want to clean them up to make sure that your battery is getting a good contact with the wires that lead to the engine, just to make sure that your engine is getting that electrical power that it needs. Simple car maintenance task number 4, replace the brake pads. Now, what you don't want to fool around with are the brakes on your car. There are some things that you can leave unattended on your car if they're not working properly, as long as they don't affect the safety of your driving or the comfort or convenience of your driving. Brake pads are not one of those things. You don't want to fool around with your brake pads or your brake rotors or any aspect of the brakes. So with that being said, as soon as you see the first sign of your brakes needing replacement, make sure to replace them. First and foremost, the main reason, because it'll keep you safe. And secondly, because once your brake pads are worn out, you don't want metal grinding on metal when you press that brake pedal, because that can cause an even more expensive repair than simply replacing the brake pads. Number 5, you want to keep your fluids topped up. Now, your fluids serve a very important role in your engine and your car operating properly. Some of them are absolutely crucial and some of them are there more for convenience. Now, I would recommend keeping all of your fluids topped up as often as possible, because you don't want to be in a situation where your fluids or your lack of fluids, whether it's keeping them topped up or changing them, you don't want to be in a situation where it prevents you from driving your car and it leaves you stranded, because then you have to pay for a tow to get your car towed or a repair, and both of those things can be very expensive. Number 6, replace the belts of the car. Now, there are belts in your car and eventually they break or they get worn down enough that they're going to break. Now, it's your goal, just like a battery, you want to get a good life out of those belts. You don't want to only use them for a short amount of time and continually replace them well before they're going to be worn down or well before they break. You want to get a good life out of them, but you want to replace them before they cause you to get stranded or cause a very expensive repair, okay? So you want to make sure that you know the signs of them being worn down and being about to break, and you replace them when you start seeing those signs come into play. Last but not least, number 7, the 7th simple car maintenance task that you should do is you should do an alignment. Now, sometimes when you're driving, you'll notice once it has been a while since you've had an alignment, your car is going to be pulling to the left or pulling to the right. You're almost going to be fighting to keep that car straight, okay? Now, first and foremost, that does affect the safety of your driving, but secondly, it can cause some unnecessary wear and tear on the components of the car. So you should do an alignment as often as you need to. Now, some people recommend doing it every certain period of time. Other people recommend only doing it when you start to feel your car pull, but you have to make that decision for yourself. But the point is, know when you should be doing your alignment, make that decision, and make sure you stick to that schedule. And it's as simple as that. In this video, I've gone over 7 simple car maintenance things that you should do. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. What are some other simple car maintenance tasks that you can do that will prevent expensive repair bills? Let me know down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.